The Association of California Water Agencies, Joint Powers Insurance Authority, ACWA JPIA, is a partnership of water agencies working together to share the risks associated with the treatment and delivery of potable water, recycled water, and the conveyance and treatment of wastewater. The ACWA JPIA is dedicated to providing the broadest insurance coverage and related services to its members at an affordable cost. ACWA JPIA manages programs that are a cost-effective form of risk management, available only to public water utilities in the state of California. These programs allow our members to control the high cost of property, liability, and workers' compensation insurance. An important part of the JPIA services is providing training to help members control losses and reduce insurance costs. The purpose of this program is to raise awareness of common field accidents experienced by our members' employees and to provide training on how to reduce and/or eliminate these injuries. Cumulative trauma injuries such as carpal tunnel syndrome, tendinitis, and back pain often result from awkward and repetitive use of the hands, wrists, legs, feet, neck, and back. Many workers utilize only a select group of muscles for the entire day, causing fatigue, repetitive motion injuries, and other cumulative trauma conditions. Quite often, many of these injuries are classified as overexertion. You may think that overexertion means to lift a heavy object, but that's not what overexertion really means. Overexertion occurs from working the muscles past normal fatigue, often resulting in an injury. As water professionals, you know there are a wide range of risks and hazards associated with the tasks you perform. Our purpose in this program is to help you better understand the hazards for specific jobs, so you will be able to perform these tasks without injury to yourselves or others. Over a 5-year period, nearly 1,500 member employees suffered various strain and sprain type injuries related to field activities. Based on a comprehensive review of loss information, the majority of these injuries have resulted from work involving opening and removing vault and manhole covers, jackhammer operation, operating valves, shoveling, stepping off vehicles and trucks, and lifting sacks of bulk material, tools, pipe, and equipment, to name a few. If not performed safely, just about every field task can result in a strain or sprain. The good news is that these types of injuries are totally preventable. It just takes a bit of training, thinking through the work process, and a commitment to working safely. An important consideration in preventing an injury is being physically ready to perform work. When you think about it, you are really an industrial athlete, and just like any athlete, it's critical to warm up prior to work. Being physically ready to work goes a long way in preventing many injuries. So take some time to stretch and warm up your muscles and back prior to doing any physical activity. Some warm-up activities that are of benefit would include shoulder stretches, back extensions, leg and hamstring stretches, as well as hand and finger warm-ups. Now that we are warmed up, let's take a look at some of the equipment and tasks that can result in an injury and discuss ways to prevent accidents and injuries. Most of the equipment carried on crew trucks is heavy, and injuries can occur when trying to lift equipment and materials in and out of trucks. In most cases, there is little reason to manually lift heavy items, as most vehicles are equipped with a hoist of some type. Take full advantage of any mechanical lifting devices wherever possible, and avoid lifting equipment alone. If you need to lift, always get help. You're part of a working team and should take advantage of the people around you to make a heavy job easier and safer. When you lift by yourself, Remember the time-tested lifting technique rule. Lift with your legs and never with your back. Keep your back as straight as possible and bend your knees. Where possible, try to lift in your power zone, which is an area approximately between your knees and shoulders, where you can generate the most power to safely complete a lift. Keep this in mind when storing materials as well. If stored in an area close to the power zone, you are less likely to be injured while lifting. Keep the load as close to your body as possible, reducing the strain on your back. Much of the work you perform requires handling manhole and vault lids that can weigh in excess of 100 pounds. These covers are responsible for many back injuries and other strains and sprains. Lid removal becomes even tougher when grit and debris becomes lodged between the edge and rim, so take extra care. If the lid is stuck, take the time to use a tool to clean out the debris before you attempt to lift. Removing manhole covers by inserting a pick into a pick hole and trying to pry it out is not the way to remove a manhole cover. The safest and most efficient method to remove and handle a manhole lid is a lifting device, specifically designed for that job. Any other way is just risking an injury, since it requires raw human power to try to break the cover free. It's always best to opt for a manhole lifting device that uses a mechanical advantage. Remember to ask for help if you are having problems getting the lid off. If you don't have access to this equipment and must rely on hooks or other tools, be aware that this method is quite risky, and a well-thought-out plan of attack is important. Be sure you maintain a solid footing and always apply proper lifting techniques by using the strong muscles in your legs while keeping your back straight. Manhole covers can spin out of control, landing on toes and feet, crushing them in an instant. So wearing the proper foot protection and a high level of safety awareness is in order. Water meters come in all shapes and sizes and can weigh from 5 to more than 100 pounds. Installation, servicing, or removal of meters often requires working in awkward positions that can contribute to a variety of injuries. Since you may not be able to rely on your legs for additional help in lifting, use any equipment available for a mechanical advantage when installing or removing heavy meters. Even when working with small meters, use your free hand to help provide additional back support while working in a bent-over position. Don't forget about your knees. Good quality knee pads can go a long way in preventing knee pain and injuries. Jackhammers are heavy, often exceeding 100 pounds. ACWA JPIA injury statistics reveal a significant number of injuries involve the use of jackhammers. It's clear that this equipment can do a tremendous amount of hard work without having to do it by hand. Most injuries associated with these activities include back, shoulder, arm, hand, and foot injuries. In addition, exposure to vibration can contribute to injuries such as carpal tunnel syndrome, nerve damage, and abdominal injuries. Your equipment should be equipped with the latest vibration dampening technology, with ergonomically designed handles and noise-reducing equipment. Anti-vibration gloves can also be useful to prevent these type injuries. Of course, hearing protection is a must. Since this equipment is heavy, a storage system must be designed so that the equipment can be easily removed and replaced, avoiding extended reaches, twisting, and turning. Jackhammers should be carefully lifted out of the truck and carried to the work location by 2 employees. After use, this equipment should be returned to the truck in a similar manner. If you must move a jackhammer to the job site on your own, consider a cart or dolly. Now that you have the jackhammer at the job, it's time to start breaking up pavement. If the bit gets stuck, remove the bit from the jackhammer and use another tool to free it. You might consider using a jackhammer assist device, which uses pneumatic pressure to help free the tool. This will not only speed up the job, but you will be working safely and efficiently and reducing the chance for an injury. Valves can be difficult to operate. This is especially true during an emergency. They require periodic exercising to help ensure proper operation. Extra care needs to be taken when using gate valves, as they will often slip off the valve nut, throwing the user to the ground or causing a strain injury to the shoulders, arms, or back. The safest way to operate valves is to apply steady pressure. Be sure you have stable footing to help prevent a fall or strain injuries. Always look around to get an idea of your surroundings to prevent a fall into traffic or a hole. Of course, it's always best to have help, which not only makes the job easier, but far safer. Some use gate key extensions for additional torque. However, extra care should be taken, as extensions might cause an injury from the additional torque or a sudden release of the valve. The best and most efficient way to operate valves, especially when performing valve exercising activities, is by using mechanical or hydraulic valve turning equipment. It seems that no one works at a water agency without getting their fair share of shovel time. Shoveling is really basic lifting, but the load is at the end of the shovel and there is a lot of twisting while lifting, which is a major cause of back injuries. As the old adage goes, choose the right tool for the job, and this certainly applies to shoveling. A shovel is a tool used to dig, as well as to move loose material such as dirt, gravel, or sand from one spot to another. On the other hand, a spade is more of a precision tool used for digging straight-edged holes or trenches, slicing and lifting soil. A spade is commonly referred to as a shovel. Shoveling is strenuous work and can be hard on the back. Even for the physically fit, using warm-up exercises before starting the job is highly recommended to help avoid an injury. Since shoveling is responsible for its fair share of injuries, be sure to select the right shovel for the task and use it properly. The amount of physical effort required when shoveling depends on the total weight of the shovel, the load and how far the load is from the worker's body, and where the hands are placed on the handle. Let's take some time to discuss a few important shoveling safety tips. Be aware of the condition of the surface you will be standing on. Choose the right shovel for the job and keep the blade sharp and the handle free from splinters and cracks. Always wear protective clothing such as safety footwear, eye protection, gloves, and long pants, and allow for a safe distance between people when working with others, and keep people away from your swing path. When shoveling, keep your feet in a stable work stance. Place your front foot close to the shovel, shifting your weight to that foot. Use your leg to help power the shovel into the pile. Remove only manageable loads. Overloading a shovel only increases the weight at the end of the shovel and usually spills off. Shift your weight to the rear foot, keeping the load close to your body. And turn your feet and body in the direction of the throw, and always avoid twisting while shoveling. Digging techniques. Push the spade down using your foot and leg muscles, again, taking only manageable loads. Ensure that the load is loose before lifting. This is especially important in sticky, heavy soil such as clay. Push down and rock the shovel to help free the soil. Use your leg as a fulcrum to help lift the load. Again, watch your swing path and avoid twisting the load while lifting. Your throw height should not exceed approximately 4 feet, with the optimal distance around 3 feet. Reduce the load if the task requires a longer toss. The recommended rate for continuous shoveling is usually considered to be around 15 scoops per minute. Tasks involving continuous shoveling at this rate should not be carried on longer than 15 minutes at a time due to the rapid onset of fatigue. Rest breaks are important. Since most shoveling is done outdoors, consideration of the weather conditions is very important. In the more extreme conditions, such as hot and humid or very cold and windy, follow 15 minutes of continuous shoveling with 15 minutes of rest if possible. Working around vehicles and equipment presents plenty of opportunities for an injury. Workers can easily slip and fall from trucks and equipment while performing daily maintenance and other activities. Always be aware of the surfaces you are stepping on. Watch for moisture, oils, fluids, or rocky or gravelly surfaces that can create the possibility for a slip or fall. Take extra care when climbing on or in and out of vehicles and equipment. Check your shoes to ensure that they are in good condition, as worn soles can certainly contribute to a slip or fall. When entering and exiting vehicles, always use the three-point climbing system to ensure safe footing, which is 1 hand and 2 feet, or 2 hands and 1 foot in contact with a surface at all times. Grab bars installed in vehicles or equipment should be utilized. And of course, never jump off of equipment or vehicles. Field employees use a wide variety of tools and equipment during the course of the day. Injuries associated with these tools generally do not occur overnight, but result from repeated and long-term use. Injuries associated with these activities are often referred to as cumulative trauma, an injury which manifests itself over a long period of exposure. These injuries can range from the pain and discomfort of tendinitis to conditions such as carpal tunnel syndrome and others requiring surgical intervention. The sad fact is surgery and other treatments often do not return the worker to a pre-injury state. The best way to address these conditions is to prevent them through training, reducing exposure time, and taking advantage of products designed to lessen the effects of vibration. Products such as anti-vibration gloves and equipment integrated into the handles of equipment can lessen the vibration. One of the most important tips is to conduct a quick mental job safety assessment before doing any job. Look for conditions and situations that can lead to injury and take the steps to mitigate the risk. If you have worked for your agency for any length of time, your experience will provide a good idea of the risks and hazards. Now is the time to consider getting on board with the concept of injury prevention. This ACWA JPIA presentation has been developed to raise your awareness to top potential field injuries and provide training on how to prevent them. We hope you will take advantage of this training and apply what you have learned. Remember that the ACWA JPIA HR LaBounty Safety Award Program is available for all its members to reward employees who come up with work practice improvements by designing tools or equipment or developing programs to reduce employee exposure to injury.